Hey, what's up, guys? You got Frankie Edgar versus Gray Maynard, part 3, and in the last fight nobody won that fight, and in the first fight, Frankie Edgar got dominated, and I think in this fight, if Gray Maynard wants to win this fight, he's not going to blow out his gas tank by going in there swinging for the fences, because if you go back and watch the first fight, if you go back and watch the first round of the second fight, he kind of, at the end of the round, is gassing out because he's throwing almost 90 to 100 punches, and they land, and that he knows he rocked Frankie Edgar, and Frankie Edgar got pretty well dominated in the first round. I really don't know how Frankie Edgar came back in that fight, but you have basically mirror images of each other. You have Frankie Edgar, which is an elusive fighter. He has great wrestling. He has good stand-up. He knows how to move in and out without getting hit. You have Gray Maynard, which is a power striker who can land heavy leather on you and knock you out. And he's a great, tremendous wrestler. I would have to say Gray Maynard is a better striker than Frankie. He has good wrestling. Do I think Frankie has better wrestling? I think Frankie's wrestling is a lot better. Do I think his stand-up is better? Not as good as Gray Maynard. I think Frankie does combos better. He knows how to shoot in, and he's always moving. So he's not like a lot of fighters who just stand there and get punched, or they punch and then they walk back. He knows how to circle the cage and move in and out. So I'm going to have to go with my instinct and say Gray Maynard is not going to win. I think Frankie Edgar is going to win. The only way I see Frankie losing his title is if Gray Maynard doesn't gas himself out. And if he gasses himself out like he did in the last fight, then we're going to see the same thing happen, that Frankie's going to win. But in the end, I think Frankie's going to keep his title, because I don't think Gray Maynard is good enough to win the title. That's just my opinion, because I think Gray Maynard can win the title if he doesn't go in there and gas himself out. Because if you watch the second fight, you can tell he gassed himself out, just the way it was. He went in there, threw so many punches, and then later in the round, she was like, "I'm tired," because he was gassed out. But because he's training with Randy Couture, that's improving his stand-up and improving his cage presence, so he can pull him up against the cage and learn from Randy. That's a tremendous thing. I don't even know who Frankie trained with. I don't know if there's any top-level guys he trains with, but I know Randy Couture trains with Gray Maynard, but in the end, I think Frankie's going to win and keep his title. Thanks for watching UFC 130.